I have made friends with a lot of the regular bartenders there, and it enhances the experience. And when I'm with people who don't go to Disney a lot, they're like, how can a guy working at this bar serving thousands of people a day remember what you want? Like, it's
right.
Well, I've obviously been here too much, but anyway.
Welcome to this
more beer
episode of the Mazza's Musings podcast, where I am talking with Rick, who is the man behind the WDW Beer Guy Instagram and Threads account. Now, if you're not familiar, Rick, basically, it's what it sounds like. He posts about Disney and beer, and more specifically, beer at Disney World. And it's really one of my go-tos when I'm looking for a little bit of that slice of Disney, having a rough day, or I'm just missing the parks. This is one of those go-tos for me. Rick and I have a great time talking about, well, beer and Disney, and, kind of our experiences with both and where they intersect. So, but before we get into that, of course, we have Meghan's Cuckoo Bananas Joke of the Week.
And now it's time for Meghan's
Cuckoo Bananas Joke.
Hi, Meghan.
Hi.
Do you have a joke for us today?
Yesy.
Okay, let's hear it.
What is a mountain goat's favorite flavor of ice cream?
I don't know. What is a mountain goat's favorite flavor of ice cream?
Rocky Road.
That's a good one. Okay, ooh, is not a sound that a goat makes. So I don't know why you're making it. Okay, say goodnight.
Good night. Good night. Kitty cat.
Yes.
On my nose.
Meghan won a new kitty cat at bingo, right?
Yes.
Excellent.
Bye.
Now let's get into our main topic, talking with Rick, the WDW Beer Guy.
Donald, wake up! It's showtime! Don't forget the orchestra!
Ah, there you are. And just in time.
Mom says there's even more magical stuff now.
For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails throughout our journey and stay clear of the doors.
Hang on to them hats and glasses, because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
And here we go!
All right, I am here with Rick, who is the man behind the WDW Beer Guy Instagram and Threads account, which is dedicated to what are two of my favorite things, which is Walt Disney World and beer. And I'm really thankful and grateful that he's taken the time to talk with me today a little bit about these two very, very magical topics. So before we get into everything, Rick, I always give my guests the opportunity to sort of introduce themselves, and I'm hoping you'll tell us a little bit about the origin story of the WDW Beer Guy experience.
Absolutely. Hey, Chris, thanks for having me on. Any chance I get to talk like you talked about two of my favorite things, I'm excited. So, I was hard today to choose which Disney beer mug to bring. So I got out my old Germany Stein from the Germany
excellent
Pavilion. Yep. It's a tough call, but, yeah, thanks for having me. So just a real quick story is I grew up a Disney kid, grew up in California, went to Disneyland a lot. My brother and I ran around Disneyland. And then I grew up and had kids. I moved to the East Coast and went to Disney World a lot. I took my kids. My daughter did the college program. And then they got older and moved out and went to college and all that. And I'm like, man, I miss Disney. So I started going as an adult. And doing different things and meeting people in Florida and hanging out down there with a fun group of folks. And I meet new people every time I go. So I developed into a Disney adult, which has been a lot of fun. Had a lot of great friends from this. And the funny thing about the account, when I started it, there's a social media app called Untapped. It's a beer social media app. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get on it, you check in beers, you rate beers, your friends see what beers you're drinking. When you go into a new town, you can open it up and see what beers the bars are serving. So it's all beer social media related. It's a lot of fun. Well, I was always going to Disney checking in beers, and I have a buddy who despises Disney. He hates Disney, but he loves beers. And I'd be checking in all these beers from Disney, and he'd be like, "Oh man, you're down there again? How can you keep going there?" So another buddy of mine, as a joke, I said, I'm just going to start this account just to spite him and make a little fun of him. And I never intended to even keep it, but I started it so that he would see it. And like his kids were like, "Hey, Rick's got a beer account." And so what turned into a joke just kind of exploded. And I started interacting with all these Disney people and meeting new friends because of it, and just having a great time going on bar crawls with people down there. So something that started as a joke turned into just a great thing, and it's been a lot of fun for me. So playing jokes on your friends works out sometimes.
Now, you mentioned the crawls, and I do want to get into that. But before that, so I became a quote unquote Disney adult later in life when I met my now wife. And our first trip to Disney together was for our honeymoon. So that was, we're closing in on 15 years now. So, and I feel like even since then, over the past decade and a half or so, we've seen a real shift in Disney's attitude towards beer and alcohol in general. And I feel like we're seeing a lot more, availability, and it's seeming like less of a taboo to enjoy this as part of your Disney parks experience.
I agree. When I used to take my kids there in the 2000s, you had to scramble to find a drink, and even go to Epcot World Showcase to find a decent beer that had some flavor to it. And now you can't walk more than 10 feet without a pop-up bar or something. So, I think, revenue wise, it's probably really good for them. And there are a lot of Disney adults, and people want to go on vacation and have a cocktail or a beer. And it's a lot of fun. And I saw you were just on the Disney Destiny. I think I just missed you. I went in February, and I hope we weren't on the same trip, because that'd be sad if we didn't meet each other. But there's bars everywhere on that ship, right? I mean, that shows you what it's become, because I was amazed on the Disney cruise how many bars there were. Bars everywhere. Even the coffee bars had full bars. So it's
I was gonna say, I remember walking by one of the coffee bars and seeing tap handles and be like, wait a minute, okay, noted.
Yeah. So I think I agree with you. It's exploded. It's everywhere. I mean, and some of the great lounges and stuff are in the hotels now. They've upped the game in the hotels, and it's just I think it makes for a really nice vacation for folks.
Yeah. And I think that when you have it available in more places, you're not seeing as much of, like, do you think about the old, Disney Springs, downtown Disney, how like zooey that used to be, because that was the place you could go to find, that was the alcohol spot, the party spot kind of thing. Whereas now it's much more of a commonplace thing. So you're not having these zooey kind of atmospheres, and it's much more a natural part of the experience. So I wonder, though, have you always been a big beer fan, or is that something that developed over time as well? Like for me, I was in college, and of course college is college. And then after college, the craft beer boom hadn't really started. So me and my friends were actually going to a store nearby that had a big import section. So we were trying all kinds of Belgian and German beers and things like that, and thinking that we were super sophisticated. And then around here, a few years later, the craft beer boom happened. And so, it was kind of a natural progression to that for us. But I'm wondering what your beer journey was like too.
Yeah, I would say the same. College was whatever you could get your hands on, and tasted okay or tasted like rust, but you still drank it. So, but like you, and close to where you live, like Sam Adams and all that, really propelled beer in America and gave us some different flavors, and it was fantastic. And yeah, my life got a lot better after all that. And now I've got breweries all around me. It's crazy, to the point where some of them are closing a little bit because I think it got a little saturated. But it's a great place. There's flavors for everybody. I think that's the one thing I love about beer. I'm a big IPA pale ale guy, but I could be sitting with someone who likes a nice Belgian or a lager or a sour, and there's something for everybody. It brings people together. It's fun.
Yeah, that's one thing that I always tell people when people say, well, I don't really like beer. It's just like, you just haven't found the beer you like yet, because there are over 100 different styles of beer. There is, as you said, there's something for everybody. Yeah. And it really, I think that people gaining that understanding a little bit has helped create and foster that kind of community that has come with it. So there's even kind of like a subculture now of Disney adults who are also, beer drinkers. So Disney beer guys like you.
Yeah. And there's a Disney bourbon person. There's a Disney cocktail girl. There's jet juice jockeys for Ogas. I mean, I've met all these folks through Instagram, and it's been a lot of fun. And believe me, at my age, I never thought I would say I would make friends on social media. I've made some fantastic friends on social media. So it shows you're never too old to learn and grow and find new ways to have a good time.
Yeah. Now, we actually connected to first started talking about this podcast episode when I asked you about the Skyliner pub crawl, which was a new concept for me, and I was like, tell me more. So, and you've mentioned that the crawls are a thing that have really helped, community wise. So do you have any favorite crawls, or do you have anything that you're like, for somebody who is looking to do something like this, that you would recommend, the first thing that comes to your mind as something that you would tell somebody you should try this one?
Yeah. So there's a lot of different ways to do a crawl in Disney. My first Skyliner crawl, you're probably familiar with the Disney Day Drinker group, the D3 group.
Yes. Yep.
So they had a Skyliner crawl about in like 2022 when they were getting off the ground, and I jumped in it. I actually have some great friends from that crawl I still hang out with. But the Skyliner crawl is kind of my favorite because you start in Pop Century and Art of Animation. You kind of hit the pool bars, which is casual, and then you hop on the Skyliner and you stop at Cabana there at Caribbean Beach. Then you can walk over to Riviera and hold on just a sec. Sorry about that. You can walk over to the bar Riva and hit the Riviera place, and you can go on the rooftop there, and you hop back on the Skyliner. You take about a half hour, 45 minutes in each spot, and then you from there you go over to the Disney Boardwalk. So you can spend a whole lot of time on the Disney Boardwalk. We kind of start in the afternoon, and then after everything's done, Hurricane Hannah's, Abracadabra Bar, the Bellevue Lounge, which is my favorite spot to end the night. It's in the Boardwalk. It's kind of hidden, but they make the best mixed cocktails. I'm also a bourbon guy, so I love a good bourbon, and Disney has their own select bourbon that's only made for Disney, so you can get it there.
Oh, no kidding.
But yeah, if you start, the pool bars and then work your way over to the Boardwalk, and if want to go into Epcot and see the fireworks at the end, that's awesome. So yeah, I love the Skyliner bar. In fact, we're planning one for May the 3rd. We'll be doing on May the 3rd. So we've got a big group of people that are going to do it on May the 3rd. So I'm excited about that.
Excellent.
So yeah. And, yeah, but the monorail bar crawl is fantastic. Now that they've added even a few more stops, the Wailulu Lounge in the Polynesian DVC Resort, which is fantastic. But we always kind of start over at Wilderness Lodge, and because we love Geyser Point and Territory Lounge, we'll hop on the boat and then get on the monorail and hit all the resorts. And you can have a great afternoon, early evening on that, and hopefully get into Trader Sam's along the way. So yeah, it's fantastic. And then we've done some just days where we're just hopping around to resorts. We do resort crawls because the resorts have all these great hidden little pool bars and lounges and stuff. And you can't get to them all. That's the one thing about Disney now. It's so big, it's hard to do everything. And, there's so many places to visit. So yeah, love it. It's great.
Yeah, we are. I'm wearing the DVC hat right now. We're Disney Vacation Club members, and our home resort is Wilderness Lodge, Copper Creek.
Oh, nice.
And so we love Geyser Point, and we actually, our daughter is 8. One of the things that we always have liked to do is have a room that's on the ground floor there, so we can kind of sneak out through the sliding door while she is falling asleep earlier, and then we go get some drinks and bring them back and kind of chill out for the evening with a couple of beers, and that's the perfect spot to do that.
It's a beautiful resort. I mean, Christmas time there is magical, and it's great. You got an 8-year-old. You're in the magic time for Disney, man. That's the sweet spot. I mean, for kids. Mine are older now, and I enjoy going with them again. But when everything's magical with them, it's fantastic. So and that bison burger at Territory Lounge. I mean, at Geyser. Woo, that's good.
So good. Yeah, absolutely. Nothing beats a good burger and a good beer, or good burger and a good bourbon too. So but yeah, we actually did we haven't done a full crawl or something like that, but we had a trip where it was just myself and my wife, and we did kind of a modified monorail crawl where we actually ended up doing it backwards. So there was some walking involved for us. We didn't think it through. So we ended up walking backwards kind of against the grain. But one of the things that I found was, the name of the place is escaping me. We couldn't get into Trader Sam's, but it had the back scratcher, which I'm not a huge rum drinker, but and let me tell you this, they did not they were not shy about sharing the rum, but and it came with a souvenir. I still have the back scratcher, so
nice.
That comes with it. So so yeah, the Disney is another place where I'm almost 100% a beer drinker in my normal life, but Disney is one of the places where I'm willing to try something new, and that's what we tried to do on that crawl. Was just like, we're going to go to each of the resorts and we're going to go somewhere and try one drink, and try something new. So there's a chance to be adventurous, whether it's trying a new beer or trying a new cocktail. So
you were probably at the Tambu Lounge with the back.
Yes,
scratch.
thank you.
Yeah, yep. I love that spot. It's a great little spot. So yeah, and you struck on one of my rules for when I go with even myself and my friends. I always say we have to do one thing new every trip, because I've been there countless times and I can still do a new thing every time. And in fact, we usually end up doing like 5 new things every time, which is crazy. It's amazing. I've been there so many times, but I still find fun stuff to do, new things to do.
Now, has there been a beer or a drink, but we're talking about beer primarily here. Has there been something that once you've discovered it at the park or at a resort, and you're just like, I can't believe they have this here? I'll give you an example for us. When we got married, instead of numbers for our tables, telling people you're at table 1, you're at table 2, we had different beer labels. So if they picked up their little card with their name on it, it had a picture of the beer label on it. And then they had to find the corresponding beer bottle.
Nice.
And one of them was Unibroek's Fin du Monde. And then when we were on our vacation or on our honeymoon, we found that they had that at the Canada Pavilion at the time. And that was one of those, I can't believe you have that here. And, so, anytime that I'm talking to somebody about this, it's just like, has there been a discovery for you that just kind of either got you super excited or was a little bit mind blowing?
I'll tell you so one thing that got me really excited, and this is when they do something new and it turns out to be fantastic. But, when we used to go with my kids and stuff, we loved the writer shop in Hollywood Studios. It was this cool little shop that had coffee and books and kids' books and that kind of stuff. It was right next to the Sci-Fi Lounge. And they closed it, and we were bummed because we always used to spend so much time in there and had a great time. Well, in its place, they put in the Baseline Tap House. So I immediately was like, oh, this is going to work out just fine. They have all the great California beers in there. Stone Brewing, which I love Stone Brewing, and the Stone Delicious there is one of my favorite beers in Disney. So that's a spot that I was just pleasantly surprised turned into something that I really have spent a lot of time in now. So that was fun. On my last trip, I had friends that I barely drink the grapefruit beer, which everyone loves. It's in Canada and stuff. And it's a good beer. I'm more of a hoppy guy. So they were like, yeah, but have you ever tried it loaded? And I'm like, no, it's with a shot of grapefruit vodka. And yeah, but it made it taste better for me. And it was great. I was like, I like this so much better. So they made me enjoy a beer I don't drink very much even better because they showed me, how to drink it properly. So it was really good. So the loaded grapefruit was really good. I enjoyed that. So yeah. So there used to be more specific beers for every place around Disney, and they've gone away from that a little bit. But like in Pandora, there was one beer cart that sold a Pandora Jasmine IPA. And you could only get it at the beer cart near the drum area in Pandora. And it was made by Elysium Brewing out of Seattle, but it was made for Pandora. And my buddy and we would run over to that cart just to get that Pandora IPA. They don't make it anymore, so they don't have it. They have the Space Dust there, which is really good. But you used to have more beers named or after certain parts of the park, which was really fun. But they don't have as much anymore. So that was fun too.
I don't know if you caught it when you were on the Destiny, but there's a good, I like the IPA that was, speaking of things that are specific to a specific thing, at the Haunted Mansion Lounge, the Hoppy Haunts.
Yes.
Yeah, that was one that we did the same kind of thing where we would, while our daughter was going to bed, we would sit on the veranda and have a beer, and I'd be like, okay, I'll meet you back at the room. I'm going to go get a couple of those.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, we had to go in there a few times and try all the different drinks and beers. It was pretty neat. That's an experience. It's sensory overload, but it was fun. So it was really fun. So.
You talk about the immersive experiences, and that's one, on the Destiny. I'm a Star Wars guy, and I know plenty of people who aren't, who really enjoy Ogas.
Yes.
So again, another immersive experience. All right, DJ Rex.
I got Rex right next to me.
And but one that I haven't had the chance to try yet is the Beacon Barrel, and I'm wondering, what your experience, if any, has been there, and what you think.
So I've been there 4 times. I went right when it opened, so the bartenders were a little nervous about that 45-minute time limit, and they were kind of hurrying everybody along, and it was kind of like, okay, it's okay. But we had another reservation the same day later in that afternoon. Went in, and we were in the map room, and we had a fantastic time. The server was relaxed and doing the whole bit. I would say it's immersive, just like the Haunted Mansion bar. It's a lot of fun, but if you want to drink 2 drinks and eat something in 45 minutes, it's impossible. So we need at least an hour. So the other 2 times I've been in, they let us stay for like an hour and 10 minutes. And that was perfect because you could eat something. You didn't have to, shovel your drinks down. But the bar itself's fantastic. It's a lot of fun. The drinks are good. They're not overly sweet. I got the Barrels Ablaze, which is the whiskey drink. And it was good. It was whiskey forward and had a little spice to it, so it was very tasty. And I've had both the beers there. There's a blonde ale. They don't have anything too hoppy. It's blonde ale and a lager, but they were both very good. It's a great addition to Magic Kingdom. It's a wonderful immersive experience. We just need a little more time, just a little more time.
Do you think that's something they're gonna get more lax on, as it's not quite as new and not quite the novelty?
Yeah, I hope so. At least an hour. I mean, I know they don't want people, jamming drinks down in Magic Kingdom, and I get that. I'm all for that. But if we could get like an hour, it'd be perfect. And maybe once the demand's down, we'll give. And the last couple of times I've been in there, we've gone over 45 minutes a little bit. They were more relaxed. They were more like, let's finish up, me hearties.
Yeah.
They were, but it wasn't the initial of, hey, it's 45 minutes, you got to go. So I was already more relaxed when I went there. But it's a great place. It's a lot of fun. My favorite place in Magic Kingdom is actually Skipper's Canteen, because they'll let you go in there, sit at a table. Even if you just get drinks, you can go in and you can always get in, which is fantastic. So sometimes we'll just go in and get an appetizer and a few drinks and, enjoy Magic Kingdom. So, yeah.
I'm trying to remember. It's been a couple years since I've been there, but I want to say that there's a good amber that they have there.
They have the Congalouche, which is a spiced ale.
Okay.
And it's themed, Adventurers Club and all that. Yeah. So that's a really rich, full body beer, and it has a lot of flavor. It's really good. Yep. My favorite there is the Old Elephant Foot IPA, just because I'm an IPA guy, and that's a really good one. I love that a lot. They can get that in Animal Kingdom too.
I was going to say, you can get that at Animal Kingdom. I think that I've gotten it at the Lodge when we've stayed at the Lodge. Yeah. Yep. So, yeah. Big IPA guy as well here, but, I do try to, diversify a little bit. So I would get, so I'm outside of beer. Is there any cocktail or anything that you consider a go-to if you're in the mood for a mixed drink or a cocktail?
Yes, so I'm a bourbon person. A old fashioned made really well. I'll dig that. Enchanted Rose has a seasonal old fashioned, which is fantastic. I love their old fashioned. Bellevue Lounge, they mix their own syrups and stuff there, so their old fashions are fantastic. But straight bourbon, I'm a good straight bourbon guy. On the rocks, it's fantastic. Other ones, I like a good vodka tonic with a lime for a refreshing drink. That's good. But yeah, usually it's just bourbon and beer for the most part.
Sure. When you're going around the world, obviously the drinking around the world at Epcot is kind of, even if you're not a regular Disney park goer, you've at least heard about it, and there are certain places where I have yet to be like, I'm going to try a beer here. I think Japan is one that I've just like, I'm not quite sure I'm ready for that. But is there any place that is kind of like, well, this might surprise you actually?
Oh, in World Showcase?
World Showcase is the example that I'm using, but it could be somewhere else if something's come to mind.
Yeah, they've. I'll tell you a surprising development at Rose and Crown, and I love Guinness and I love Harp and all that, but they've added. I think they did this for the general folks in the last few months. They've added a Doghouse IPA they're based in Columbus, Ohio, which is really good American IPA, and it kind of stands out in Rose and Crown because everything else is more traditional. Your Irish ales and stuff like that. So I think they put that in there to kind of, people that don't want the traditional English brews,
right,
to have an IPA there, and it's really, really tasty. It's very good. So that's something that's happened like in 2 months ago. It's really nice.
So that's a brand new addition
to Rose and Crown. Yep. Yeah, yeah. So I think that places that surprise you, that surprise me a lot, and people probably undervalue them, is like the little pool bars, because the
Hmm.
bartenders are usually fantastic. If you stop there, don't like at the end of the night after the park closes and you talk to the bartenders there, they're always a lot of fun and good conversation. They'll introduce you to other people at the bar, and they have good mixed drinks and beer there. So I'm always surprised at the little pool bars. They are a lot of fun. Yeah. And I met some great people at those little pool bars at the end of the night. It's a lot of fun.
Now I'm circling back to Geyser Point. There's a bartender there. I think his name was Josh. And
Josh.
when we were going when we were staying at Wilderness Lodge more
Yeah.
regularly, we've been trying to get to some other resorts now. But we with our DVC membership basically have the points to go once a year. So we would only see Josh like once a year. There was one time where we slipped another short trip in there, but it didn't matter. Josh remembered us, from a year ago or 8 months ago, and it
Yeah.
just, it's really great how some of these people make connections with you, and so when you come back, whether it's been 8 days or 8 months, you still feel like you're at home.
Yeah. I have made friends with a lot of the regular bartenders there, and it enhances the experience having somebody recognize you when you walk in, and some of them maybe start pouring your beer, and you're like, wow, this is fantastic. And when I'm with people who don't go to Disney a lot, they're like, how can a guy that is or a girl that working at this bar serving thousands of people a day remember what you want? I'm like, it's
Right.
well, I've obviously been here too much, but anyway, no, but I'll tell you a funny story. So Mike at Baseline Tap House, Mike is always there. If you go into Baseline Tap House, Mike's always there serving. And last year for May the 4th, we went down, you're a big Star Wars guy, so we went down for Star Wars Day on May the 4th. And we wanted our own logo and everything. So we wanted, because we wanted to dress up, but we didn't want to be characters. We wanted to be something else. So we made up our own squadron. We called it the Baseline Squadron. So we're mixing Baseline and Star Wars together. So we came up with our own logo. It's like got the beer and the BS for Baseline in the Star Wars language. So we walk in there and he's like, what is that? I go, and it's like, well, we're the Baseline Squadron. We're doing Star Wars and Baseline mixed together. And he goes, and we had shirts too. And he's like, I want one of those shirts. I'm like, I'll get you a shirt. I'll get you a shirt. Totally forgot about it. I was in Baseline 2 weeks ago and I walked in there and Mike goes, where's my shirt? This is from last May. So not only did he remember me, but he's remembering I owed him a shirt. So I said, Mike, I promise you, next time I see you, you'll have a shirt. So I've ordered it. I have it. I'm just going to, next time I go to Baseline, Mike's getting his shirt. But I just think that's a great example. They're phenomenal. I mean, how they remember all this stuff, serving thousands of people a day. It's incredible.
Truly. Yeah. And I think that's really what makes the Disney experience all that much more engaging. And really, I keep coming back to you feel at home there because you do have these connections with people that
Yes.
that really, yes, it's part of their job to do it, but at the same time, they're gonna pour you a beer and get your money for it one way or the other. So they don't necessarily have to do that. It's an extra touch that just makes it all a little bit more special.
Yeah. It's getting to know some of them has really been neat. It's really, and then they move to the bars. They'll message me and say, hey, I'm moving to a different bar. Don't forget me. And I'm like, I'm coming. So it's really nice. It's that's one reason to keep going back. It's awesome. Yeah. Awesome experience.
Well, we just booked our room at Wilderness Lodge for next February. So looking forward to that. And hopefully we'll be able to meet up and have a beer.
Yeah, I would love that. That's on me. I can't wait. That'd be fun. I'm always up to hit the Wilderness Lodge, and that's a great place. That's so nice there. Yeah. Oh, I'd love that. That'd be great.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time. And of course, anytime to talk Disney and talk beer, I'm here for it. So I'd love to love to connect another time. So, but thanks very much for taking the time. And anything else you'd like to add on how people can find you or connect with you before we say goodbye?
Yeah, my name's Rick. I have an Instagram account, WW Beer Guy, easy to find. I did go on to Threads. That's all I'm doing right now. I think that's my max social media. I do it for fun. I don't do it for anything else, and just to have fun, meet people, and I have a lot of beer picks, so I get a place to share them. And um, I can only say to anyone who doesn't appreciate Disney and the family community that it is I've met some of my best friends in the world in the last 6 years down at Disney, and it's awesome. It's great. Disney brought it together, and the beer helps too. So
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I've been following you for a while, looking from afar while before actually, contacting you. I've really enjoyed your content. Anytime that I feel like I need to have a little, Disney refresher, that's one of the go-tos. And like you said, always have a lot of beer pictures. Sometimes my phone is telling me, "Hey, you're running out of space," and then I'm going back through my pictures. Oh, wow, I've still got all these beer pictures here. I don't have a place to put them the way you do. Well, actually, I do, but I've got the Brew England Patriot that I run as well. That really I started for really the same reason. It was just like, wow, I've got to find a place to put all of these other than my personal Facebook, where my family may start to think I've got a problem. So I appreciate you taking the time, and anytime you want to talk beer, Disney, or both, I'm here for it.
Thanks, Chris. Cheers.
Cheers. Well, Rick and I talked a lot about some great experiences that we can have at Walt Disney World. And a lot of them involve beer, but a lot of them don't necessarily have to. And if you want to have your own great experiences at Walt Disney World, check out We Do Travel Right. We Do Travel Right will give you that one-on-one service of an agent, but that agent has a team behind them making sure that you are having the best trip possible, making sure you're getting the right room, making sure that you have those dining reservations, helping you with the park tickets, helping you navigate a Disney vacation. And the best part is their services are free. Now, one of the things they're going to help you with is making sure that you're staying within your family's budget for the trip. So not having to pay anything extra for the agent, it's just an extra win. And how does that work? Well, that's because Disney and Universal and cruise lines and all-inclusives, they all do it. They build the use of an agent into their pricing already. So you're paying for the agent, whether you're using one or not. So doesn't it just make sense to use the agent? So if you are looking forward to getting your next magical vacation started today, go to wedotravelright.com/Mazza. That's wedotravelright.com/MAZA, and they will help you out.
Now I can't do any more damage around this popsicle stand.
So long, partner.
See you real soon.
Well, thank you for joining me today, and thank you to Rick for joining me on this episode and talking about, like I said, two of my favorite things, and that's Disney World and beer. It's great that I was able to connect with him. Like I said, this was kind of a chance thing. I asked him about something. He said, "Hey, let me tell you more about it." I said, "I would love to talk to you even more." And that's the kind of thing that we are trying to grow here with the Muse in Place, which is the Mazza's Musings Podcast's Facebook group. There you can connect with me and you can connect with other listeners, and we can have some of those conversations. And there may be things that we talk about amongst ourselves that just stay amongst ourselves. And there could be things that's just like, hey, this would make a great podcast episode. Either way, I'm just looking to connect people, because man, just having fun is just that much more fun when you have other people that you can share it with. Now, in addition to the Muse in Place, we also have the regular Facebook page, the Maz's Musings Podcast. We are also on Instagram, Threads, and Twitter at Maz's Musings Pod. You can find us on Blue Sky. We've got a TikTok, which is Maz's Musings Podcast. And we have a YouTube channel that we'd love it if you subscribe to. We'd also love it if you subscribe to our newsletter, which comes once a week and gives you kind of an idea on what's happening with this podcast. Plus, we'll throw some things in there that we find interesting as well. And you can find that on our website, mazasmusings.wordpress.com. And while you're there, after you've signed up for the newsletter, you can find past episodes and you can find out more information about me and this podcast. And if you're looking to support us a little more, you can find how to buy us a blue milk. And buying us a blue milk is just a small, obligation-free way to help us with the small monetary costs that go into putting this podcast together. Now, if you're not looking to help us out in that way, another great way to help us out is just letting people know about the podcast. Word of mouth is the best way, but also you can go to your favorite podcatcher and give us a rating or review. And those ratings and reviews bump us up in those algorithms and the rankings that make us more visible to more people. And whether you are buying us a blue milk or this is your first time listening, I appreciate all of the support. And I hope you have a great weekend and a great week. Podcast is brought to you by Hi Dad Soup. Check them out at Mickey and Minutes on Instagram.